Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Olivia. I am a born and bred American girl who packed up her entire life, 2 suitcases, and a whole lot of optimism to move across the pond to the United Kingdom. I have been living here for nearly 2 years now, and let me tell you, I thought I knew what I was getting into. I thought, hey, we speak the same language, we watch the same movies, how different can it be? Oh honey, I was literally shocked. I was unprepared. There is a version of the UK that lives in our heads as Americans, the Downton Abbey, Harry Potter, tea and crumpets version. And then there is the reality of actually living here, paying taxes here, and trying to navigate a grocery store without having a meltdown. The UK is actually quite different to the US in ways that go so much deeper than just driving on the left side of the road. So in this video, I am going to break down the 12 massive culture shocks I have experienced living in the UK. I'm not just going to list them, we are going deep. We are talking history, psychology, the laws that make no sense to my American brain, and the things that I have actually don't tell my mum started to prefer over the American way. Grab a tea or a coffee if you're still holding on to your roots, and let's get into this. Shock number 1, the absolute chaos of the address system and geography. In the US, we love a grid system. You have 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street. You have north, south, east, west. It makes sense. It's logical. It was designed by people who looked at a piece of paper and used a ruler. Here, the streets were designed by cows. I am not joking. A lot of the roads in the UK, especially in older cities like London or York, follow medieval cattle paths. History fact for you, before cars, before carriages, you had livestock. And livestock do not walk in straight lines, they wander. And now I am wandering, lost, because High Street turns into Market Street, which turns into the shambles, and then suddenly dead ends into a Roman wall. And can we talk about the postcodes? In the US, a zip code covers a huge area. Here, a postcode like SW1A1AA pinpoints a specific street or even a specific building. It's incredibly precise, which is cool, but the layout of the country itself is mind-boggling. You can drive for 20 minutes in the US and still be in the same subdivision. Here, you drive 20 minutes and you've passed through 3 villages, 2 distinct accents, and a place called Upton Snodsbury. The sheer density of history here is what gets me. I remember walking past a pub, just a regular pub where guys were watching soccer, and there was a plaque saying it was built in the 1500s. The 1500s. That is before the US was even a concept. We consider a building old in America if it's from 1920. Here, if your house is from 1920, it's considered new build practically. I have friends living in houses that are listed buildings, which brings me to the legal side of this shock. There is a thing here called listed buildings. Basically, if your house has historical significance, the government says, cool, you own it, but you can't touch it. You want to change the windows? No. You want to knock down a wall? Absolutely not. You need permission to paint your front door. It preserves the beauty, sure, but as an American who believes in the sanctity of property rights and doing whatever I want with my drywall, this was a massive adjustment. You are essentially the caretaker of history, not just a homeowner. Oh, and real quick, if you haven't already, you can totally join my channel membership. It really means a lot to me and helps me keep making these videos for you. No pressure at all, but if you want to, the link is in the description. You guys are the best, seriously. Anyway, where were we? Shock number 2. The grocery store experience is a different planet. Okay, we need to talk about eggs. The first time I went to a Tesco, I was running around looking for the refrigerated section to find eggs. I couldn't find them. I asked an employee, and he looked at me like I was insane and pointed to a shelf. A regular, non-refrigerated shelf. I was shook. I thought, I am going to get salmonella and die. But here is the truth, and this is where the science comes in. In the US, the USDA requires eggs to be washed and sanitized before they are sold. This creates a clean shell, but strips away the natural protective coating called the cuticle. Once that cuticle is gone, the egg is porous and bacteria can get in, so we to refrigerate them. In the UK and Europe, it is actually illegal to wash the eggs in that commercial way. They keep the cuticle intact, which means the egg defends itself against bacteria. They don't need the fridge. It's actually safer to keep them at room temperature here, so condensation doesn't form when you take them out. It blew my mind. And while we are in the grocery store, can we discuss the meal deal? This is a cultural institution. For about £3.50, That's like $4.50. You get a sandwich, a snack, and a drink. In the US, you cannot get a bottle of water for $4.50 in some cities. Corporate workers, construction workers, students, everyone eats meal deals. It's the great equalizer of British society. But the quality of the food? Guys, we need to have a serious conversation about ingredients. In the US, look at the back of a packet of chips. Sorry, and the ingredient list is a paragraph long with words you can't pronounce. Here, the food standards are so much stricter. High fructose corn syrup is barely a thing. Artificial dyes that we use in the US are banned here because they are linked to hyperactivity in kids. When I eat here, I don't feel as bloated or lethargic. I honestly think the American food system is trying to kill us, and I didn't realize it until I moved here and started eating bread that actually goes stale in 3 days because it's not pumped full of preservatives. Shock number 3. The pub is not a bar. In the US, we go to bars to get drunk, to pick people up, or to watch sports. It's usually loud, dark, and you have to be 21. In the UK, the public house is literally the living room of the community. You see grandpas having a pint of ale. You see families having Sunday roast with their toddlers running around. You see business meetings, and you see dogs. There are dogs everywhere in pubs. It is the cutest thing in the world, but there is a system here that you need to know or you will be hated. It's called the round. In America, we buy our own drinks, or maybe we split the tab. Here, if you are with a group of friends, one person goes to the bar and buys drinks for, that is their round. Then, when those drinks are done, the next person goes up and buys drinks for everyone. You do not skip your round. If you skip your round, you are socially dead. You are an outcast. It's this unwritten social contract of fairness. Economically, it's dangerous for an American lightweight like me. If I am with 5 British people, that means I am consuming 5 drinks minimum because the round must be completed. Also, there is no table service in most traditional pubs. You don't sit there waiting for a waiter. You have to go to the bar. I sat at a table for 20 minutes, my first week here, getting angry that no one was serving me, until I realized everyone else was just walking up to the bar. I looked like such a diva. Shock number 4. The complex psychology of sorry. In the US, if someone bumps into you, you might say excuse me or watch it. Here, if someone bumps into you, apologize to. I was literally shocked by how often British people say sorry, but you have to understand the nuance. It's not always a genuine apology, it is a multi-purpose tool. Sorry can mean I apologize. Sorry can mean excuse me, I need to get past. Sorry can mean I didn't hear you. And most importantly, sorry can mean you are an idiot and you are in my way, but I am too polite to say that. It is a culture of negative politeness. In the US, we have positive politeness. We smile, we are loud, we say, have a nice day, we want to be liked. In the UK, politeness is about not imposing on other people. It's about being unobtrusive. This brings me to the queue. Queuing, lining up, is a religion here. In the US, a line is a vague suggestion. We bunch up, we crowd. Here, if you cut in line, no one will scream at you. We Americans would be like, hey, back of the line. The British will not say a word. They will stare at the back of your head and they will tut. The tut is this sound made with the tongue and teeth. It is the sound of 1,000 years of repressed British rage. If you hear a tut, run, you have broken a social law. Shock number 5, the NHS versus the American healthcare nightmare. This is a heavy one, but we have to talk about it. I have lived with American healthcare my whole life. I am used to deductibles, co-pays, out-of-network fees, and the fear that if I break my leg, I won't be able to pay rent. I had a health scare a few months ago here. I needed to see a doctor and get some tests. I was panicked. I was calculating how much it would cost. I went to the GP general practitioner, I got the referral, I got the tests, and at the end I walked to the front desk and pulled out my wallet. The receptionist looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I need to pay." She said, "No, you don't. You can go." I almost cried. I literally almost cried right there in the waiting room. The NHS National Health Service is free at the point of use. It is funded by taxes. Yes, the taxes are higher here. I pay a national insurance contribution from my paycheck, but the psychological freedom of knowing that my health is not tied to my bank balance, it is priceless. Now, to be fair and to give a balanced view, the NHS is under a lot of pressure. The wait times can be long for non-emergency things. Americans are used to speed. If we pay, we get it now. Here you might wait weeks for a routine appointment. But no one goes bankrupt because they got cancer. That is a fundamental cultural difference that shifts how people view life and risk. Shock number 6. Jaywalking is not a crime. This is a weird one that I noticed immediately. In the US, especially in places like LA or New York, if you cross the street when the hand is red, you can get a ticket. It is a crime, jaywalking. In the UK, jaywalking does not exist. It is not a crime. You can cross the street wherever you want, whenever you want. It is entirely your responsibility not to get hit by a car. I remember standing at a zebra crossing, waiting for the light. There were no cars coming. I stood there like a good American. A police officer walked right past me, looked at the empty road, and crossed against the light. I felt like I was in the Matrix. The philosophy here is different. In the US, the law tries to protect you from yourself. Here, the law assumes you are an adult who can judge the speed of an oncoming bus, but you have to be careful. The roads are narrow, winding, and crucially, the cars are coming from the wrong direction. Look right, then left, then right again. I have almost been taken out by a double-decker bus 3 times because I looked the wrong way. Shock number 7. The electric kettle is the center of the home. If you want to trigger a British person, tell them you make tea in the microwave. They will look at you with genuine horror. In the US, standard voltage is 120 volts. In the UK, it's 230 volts. This means an electric kettle here boils water in like 60 seconds. In the US, electric kettles take forever, which is why we don't really use them. But here, the kettle is life. Put the kettle on is the solution to every problem. You got fired? Put the kettle on. You won the lottery? Put the kettle on. Your boyfriend broke up with you? Put the kettle on. Tea is not just a drink, it is a social lubricant. It is a pause button. When you enter someone's house, they offer you tea immediately. If a tradesman comes to fix your boiler, you offer him tea. It is weirdly rude not to, and it has to be done right. Tea bag in, boiling water, let it brew, take the bag out, add the milk. If you put the milk in with the bag, you are a monster. I don't make the rules, I just fear the judgment of my British friends. Shock number 8. The work-life balance is actually balanced. In the US, we have hustle culture. We brag about working 60 hours a week. We eat lunch at our desks. And vacation time, maybe you get 10 days a year and you feel guilty taking them. Here, the legal minimum for full-time employees is 28 days of paid holiday a year. 28 plus bank holidays, which are public holidays. When I first started working here, my boss asked me when I was booking my annual leave. I said, "Oh, I'm okay for now." He looked concerned. He said, "No, Olivia, you need to take your leave. It's mandatory." People here work to live. They don't live to work. At 5 p.m. or 17 o'clock, because they use the 24-hour clock everywhere, the office clears out. People go to the pub, they go to the park, they don't check their emails on the weekend. It took me a long time to deprogram my American brain. I felt lazy for logging off at 5 p.m., but now I realize how unhealthy the American way is. We are burning ourselves out. The British economy is still strong, things still get done, but people are actually resting. Shock number 9. The weather and the sun guilt. Okay, everyone knows it rains in the UK. That's not a shock. The shock is it's not always pouring rain, but there is often a solid blanket of white-grey cloud that just sits there for weeks. But this creates a psychological phenomenon I call sun guilt. Because the sun is rare, when it comes out, you are legally required to enjoy it. If it is a sunny Saturday, you cannot stay inside and watch Netflix. You have to go to the park, you have to sit in a beer garden. You see people in the parks taking their shirts off when it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 15 Celsius, because they are so desperate for vitamin D. If you tell a coworker on Monday, "Oh, on Saturday it was sunny, but I just cleaned my apartment," they look at you with pity. You wasted the sun. The weather dictates the national mood. When it's sunny, London is the greatest city on earth. Everyone is smiling. When it's grey for 2 weeks, everyone is grumpy. It's a collective emotional roller coaster. Shock number 10. Washing machines in the kitchen. This is a classic one, but I have to mention it because I still can't get over it. In the US, the washing machine is in a utility room. the basement, or a garage. Here, it is in the kitchen, usually right next to the oven or the fridge. Why? Because the houses are old. Most British housing stock dates back to the Victorian or Edwardian eras. They didn't have utility rooms. When indoor plumbing became a standard thing, the kitchen was the only place with the water pipes and the drainage to handle a washing machine. Also, dryers are rare. Most people have a washer-dryer combo that washes your clothes and then steams them until they are slightly less wet and extremely wrinkled, or they use drying racks. Airing cupboards. My living room looks like a laundromat half the time because I have clothes drying on racks everywhere. In the US, we blast our clothes in massive dryers. Here, it's all about patience and humidity management. Shock number 11, the public transport is incredible and expensive. Coming from the US, where public transport is, let's be nice and say, limited in most places, the London Underground, the tube is a miracle. You can get anywhere. You don't need a car in London. In fact, having a car is a nightmare because of the congestion charge. You have to pay to drive in the city centre. But the tube is an experience. First of all, it is hot. Deep level lines like the Central Line are not air conditioned. In the summer, it is like descending into the Earth's core. Secondly, the silence. In New York, the subway is loud. People are talking, performing, yelling. On the tube, it is dead silent. You do not make eye contact. You do not speak. You stare at the advertisements or your phone. If you talk loudly, you will get the tut and the escalators. Stand on the right, walk on the left. This is the most strictly enforced law in the UK. If you stand on the left side of the escalator during rush hour, you might actually cause a riot. Another thing is the bus system. Remember those double-deckers? I thought they were just for tourists. No, actual commuters use them. And the best view in the city is the front seat on the top deck of a bus. It costs £1.75, and you feel like the king of the world looking down on the traffic. Shock number 12, the language barrier. English versus English. I speak English, they speak English. But we are not speaking the same language. There are the obvious ones. Chips are French fries. Crisps are chips. The lift is the elevator. The boot is the trunk. But then there are the ones that get you in trouble. I complimented a guy on his pants once. In the US, pants are trousers. In the UK, pants are... So I basically told a guy I liked his underwear. Awkward, and the slang, I'm knackered, means I'm tired. I'm chuffed means I'm happy. Taking the piss means making fun of someone. But the biggest linguistic shock is the phrase, you all right? If someone walks past you and says, you all right? Your American instinct is to stop and answer. Yeah, I'm okay, a little tired, how are you? No, stop. You all right? Just means hello. The correct answer is yeah, you, and you keep walking. Do not tell them your life story. They don't actually want to know if you are all right. It's just a greeting. So there you have it, 12 culture shocks that have defined my time here in the UK. It's been a wild ride. There are days when I miss the convenience of America. I miss massive parking lots. I miss air conditioning. I miss Target. But then I walk down a street that's older than my country. I grab a pint in a cozy pub with a fire going. I hop on a bus and watch the city roll by. And I realize there is something really special about this place. The UK is quirky. It's stubborn about its traditions. It puts washing machines in the kitchen and carpet in the bathrooms. Don't get me started on that. But it's also incredibly welcoming in its own reserved way. If you are planning to visit, bring a raincoat, bring your walking shoes, remember to stand on the right, and for the love of God, do not microwave the tea. Let me know in the comments if you've visited the UK and what shocks you the most. Did I miss anything? And if you're British, please be nice to me in the comments about my American pronunciation. I'm trying. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about my chaotic expat life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Or, as they say here, cheers.